Morning routines are great and all, but as I have tried over and over again to implement a morning routine and stick to it with some semblance of rigidity, the more I've tended to rebel against the concept of my morning routine. So instead, I want to share with you my morning non-negotiables. These are things, 5 things to be specific, that I do every single morning, regardless of if I'm doing a full morning routine or not. Welcome back to my channel, and a special hello to you if you are new here. My name is Brianna. I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine, and your healthy homemaker, sharing my journey through life using health, habits, happiness, and of course, homemaking to go after the life that I want. And today we are talking morning routines, kind of. As I mentioned in the intro, I'm not a fan lately of like strict, rigid 15-step routines. So I've kind of modified things a little bit, and I've given myself a lot more morning freedom, which I will actually talk about in a different video. But today I want to share with you a couple of my non-negotiables. These are the things that I do every single morning, regardless of if I'm in like full-blown morning routine mode or if I'm in I feel like doing absolutely nothing today mode. Regardless of how I'm feeling or what I'm doing, these things happen every single morning. So let's dive in. First up is, of course, and going to be a shocker to no one, I drink my coffee. Sometimes I behave myself and it is after I have consumed food. Sometimes it is first thing in the morning. Usually, let's be honest, it is first thing in the morning. Sometimes it's after I go for a walk or do something active, but the bottom line is caffeine intake happens every single morning. My cup of coffee in the morning, hot coffee, has to be hot coffee first thing in the morning, which I don't know. Are you it can be iced coffee or hot coffee in the morning person, or are you explicitly a hot coffee person? Let me know in the comments below. For the morning, I'm good with iced coffee the rest of the day, but my morning cuppa has to be hot. There's just something so enjoyable about the routine and the feeling and the sensation of that warm cup of coffee. So that is, of course, my first non-negotiable. Number 2 is I make my bed. Every single morning, without fail, I make my bed. No excuses. There is just something so good. What's the word I'm looking for? It just makes me feel content. It makes me feel satisfied. It makes me feel put together to make my bed every single morning. I can't stand it if the bed's not made. I cannot stand it. And if my husband, for whatever reason, he hasn't done this in a really long time, but like gets into bed in the middle of the day and doesn't make it when he's done, I'm like, what's the matter with you? Like, make the bed. The bed needs to be made when we get up, and it needs to get unmade only when we are ready to go to bed at the end of the day. Pretty much no exceptions. It just makes me feel good. It's like that one thing that even if the rest of the house or the rest of the room is in disarray, there's laundry that needs to be put away, all these things, if the bed is made, I feel put together and a little bit better, you know? Number 3 in my non-negotiable is actually an either or. I typically will either read or I will journal. A lot of days I do both. My habit lately has been sit down with my coffee, read for a little bit, and then come upstairs and do my journaling. But on any given day, even if I decide I don't want to do one, I will do the other. So maybe I'm like, not really feeling reading, I will just come upstairs and do journaling, or vice versa. I will read my book and go, I don't really feel like going upstairs and journaling, so I won't. But on any given day, with the exception being Sundays typically, I will do reading or journaling. Number 4 is my fitness related one, and it's not what you think. I weigh in every single morning. I've been in this habit for a really, really long time. I've got my little morning routine down pat for me to weigh in, and it's just a way for me to have that data point, to have the number so I can see the ebbs and the flows in my weight. I've talked ad nauseum about how I feel that the weekly weigh-in kind of ruins things for us a little bit, and how a daily weigh-in is actually much more productive of a weigh-in schedule, or at least a several times a week weigh-in. But the reason I love daily weighing is because it's the data. All it is data, and it can tell you if your trend is going down, when you fluctuate, and all of these other things that it's really, really valuable that you don't get if you weigh in once a week. So daily weighing has been a habit of mine for ages now, at least a year and a half, and I have no plans on stopping. And then the last thing of my 5 things I do every morning is actually not something that I get to decide whether or not I do, but Gracie does, and that is Gracie cuddles. As you guys know, first of all, Gracie's my dog. For those of you that don't know, she's my little sassy diva of a Yorkie, and she does not like cuddles. She does not like pets. She wants to be an independent woman, except she depends on you for everything because she has major anxiety problems. It's a very bizarre personality we have with this dog, but she doesn't like pets necessarily, but she will be more accepting of them in the morning. So if I play my card right, because we have a routine of I get her out of her cage in the morning, we immediately go to the potty pad and go potty. And then one of 2 things will happen. She will either follow me over to my recliner, or she will bolt upstairs to go find Daddy, my husband. If I think ahead and I say, hey, Gracie, come here, I sit down in the recliner and she'll actually jump in my lap, put her hands on my chest, and I will sit there for at least a minute or 2, and I will scratch her chest, I'll scratch her belly, I'll scratch her booty, I'll scratch her face, and she doesn't seem to mind it. And I've really enjoyed having that as part of my routine because I don't often get to do that with her. She doesn't care. She doesn't want pets. She doesn't want loves. So in the morning when she's more willing to accept them, it gives me like, oh, I got to at least be a dog mom for a little bit today. I got to cuddle my baby for a little bit today, you know? So it's like literally 60 seconds to a minute and a half. And then she's done and she runs upstairs because that's where she hangs out in the morning, and it's fine. So most of the days, that's what I do in the morning, every single morning, unless of course she goes, nah, not gonna follow you, and bolts upstairs before I can get my hands on her. So I'm at the mercy of Gracie, but it is something that I like to include in my top 5 things nonetheless. So there you go, 5 things that I do every single morning. Now I wanna hear from you. What is something or a couple things that are on your list of, regardless of if you're a rigid morning routine person or a no morning routine person, what are your morning non-negotiables? What are the things that you do every single morning? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really does help me out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the Diva and the Divine community. We would love to have you. And don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload something new or I go live, because I tend to go live randomly quite a bit. That's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for 5 things I do every single night, and I will talk to you guys later.